Good morning, my name's Dr. Jeremy McAnulty from New South Wales Health, and I'd like to give you an update of the COVID-19 numbers for New South Wales for yesterday. There were 864 locally acquired cases of COVID-19 reported in New South Wales in the 24 hours to 8 o'clock last night. There were 112,334 tests reported in the same period for yesterday. Across New South Wales, we now have 87.2% of people aged 16 years and over who've received their first dose of vaccine, and 64% who are fully vaccinated. The total number of vaccines administered in New South Wales is now 10.1 million. This is fantastic news. Vaccination rates are going up every day, so thanks so much for everyone in the community for coming forward to protect yourself, your family and your communities. In terms of hospitalisations, we currently have 1,055 patients with COVID admitted to hospital, including 210 in intensive care and 104 of whom require ventilation. Sadly, we're reporting 15 deaths in people who had COVID diagnosed, 8 women and 7 men. 3 people who died were in their 50s, 2 people were in their 60s, 2 in their 70s, 6 people in their 80s and 2 people were in their 90s. 5 were from Western Sydney, 4 from southwestern Sydney, 3 were from Nepean Blue Mountains, 2 are from Sydney's inner west, and 1 person was from southeastern Sydney. 9 of the people who died were not vaccinated. 1 had received 1 dose of COVID vaccine and 5 had received 2 doses of COVID vaccine. 2 people from Nepean Blue Mountains who died acquired their infection in aged care settings, a woman in her 90s from the Hawkesbury Living Aged Care Facility in Richmond and a woman in her 80s at the Uniting Springwood Aged Care Facility. 2 people who died acquired their infections in a hospital setting, a man in his 80s from southeastern Sydney at the Mater Hospital and a woman in her 80s at Westmead Hospital. And 1 person died at home, a woman in her 50s from southwestern Sydney who tested positive following her death. We'd like to extend our sincere condolences to the families and friends of these people who have sadly died. There have now been 352 COVID-related deaths in New South Wales since the 16th of June 2021 and 408 in total since the start of the pandemic. In terms of sewage detections, New South Wales' ongoing surveillance system for picking up fragments of the virus that cause COVID-19 have tested positive at a number of locations in regional New South Wales without known cases. These include Hastings Point and Ballina in the Northern Rivers region, Corindai in North-Western Slopes region, and Armidale and Tamworth in the Hunter New England region. Everyone in these areas should be particularly wary of symptoms, and if you get any symptoms at all, please come forward for testing so that we can identify if someone has COVID and therefore put in measures to protect your family, friends and the community. In terms of the highest numbers of cases of COVID yesterday by suburb and town, we saw most cases in Guildford, Wellington, New South Wales, Auburn, Merrylands, Wollongong, Blacktown, Liverpool, Greenacre, Bankstown and Narromine in central western New South Wales. So no matter where you live in the state, please come forward for testing if you've got any symptoms consistent with COVID. The earlier you get tested, the faster we can get on to controlling outbreaks. I just want to give you a breakdown by regional New South Wales of cases. In the Illawarra, Shellhaven area, there are now 96 new cases reported to 8 o'clock last night, including 64 in Wollongong LGA, 15 in the Shellharbour LGA and 17 in Shellhaven. On the Central Coast, 36 cases were reported. In southern New South Wales, there were a total of 20 new cases reported, including 11 at the Queanbeyan-Pellerang region and 9 in the Goulburn-Mulweri area. In the Hunter, New England area, there have been 69 new cases reported. These include 23 in Lake Macquarie LGA and 20 in Newcastle LGA and 9 in Maitland. In Western New South Wales, we've seen 48 new cases reported. This includes Wellington with 21, Narromine with 9, Cowra 5, Bourke 4, Dubbo 4, Golgong 3 and Oberon 2. In northern New South Wales, we've seen 5 cases reported yesterday, 2 in Kyogle, 1 in Casino, 1 in the Tweed and 1 in Byron Bay. In the Murrumbidgee, there have been 7 new cases confirmed, 6 in the Hilltops local government area and 1 in the Griffith local government area. In the far west, 7 cases were reported, including all 7 from Broken Hill. On the mid-north coast, 3 cases were reported, including 2 from Kempsey and 1 from Port Macquarie. And in the southern Highlands area, there were 6 new cases reported in the Wingecarribee Shire. So remember, vaccination is our way out of here. Please come forward for vaccination. Thank you so much for everyone who's come forward for vaccination so far. It's the best way to protect yourself, your family and your friends. Thanks again.